Thank you, wild internet land. What is up, my friends? What is up on this wonderful Sunday evening in Brisbane, Australia?
Brisbane, Australia.
I'm hanging out here in the Magic Lair. It's been way too long. It's been way too long since I've come on here on the lives. So I'm here to jam with you guys and just practice a little magic. You know, nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. Or it might get crazy. We'll see. And also just to hang out with you guys and answer any questions you have or could think of for a fellow magician. But really, just to, see how you're doing. It's getting to that crazy point in the year where we are doing, as magicians, tons of gigs for end of year Christmas parties. Like the Christmas party season be real. And even though we're only in October, the moment Halloween finishes, it goes crazy. Let's try a little warm up, shall we? I'm rocking these Dan and Dave playing cards today. I love the artsy design on these cards. And this has kind of a fun origin story. That's the box in case you are interested in seeing them. By the way, on my screen, this shows up as a mirrored image and the text looks in reverse. But tell me if you're seeing this the correct way or if you're also seeing it mirrored. If you are, I can change that setting. But anyway, I was doing an event and after I performed, this guy came up to me who was a staff member of the company and he was like, hey, I can see how much you appreciate card magic. I would love to gift you these. And he just gave me this deck of cards, which is not a cheap deck at all. And so now I'm just gifted with this beautiful deck and it would be a shame not to use them. That's what I think. Ethan, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Welcome to the Hangouts.
It's good to see you on here on the socials, on the YouTubes. What are we all doing? I mean, actually, it might be daytime for you. For me, it's nighttime. It is 10:14 p.m. And so for me, I kind of question, what am I doing? But for you, hopefully it's daytime and nice Saturday morning, perhaps. Umit, hello, welcome as well. Welcome to the stream. Ethan, 2:14 p.m. Beautiful, perfect. Have some lunch, watch a little bit of magic, hey? Even though, obviously, Ethan is a talented magician and mentalist himself. Go check him out as well. Ooh, 3:14 p.m. where Umit is as well. I love this. This is great. Look, let's test out my late night skills here. I'm going to try and cut in the deck and get a few good cards. Not always going to hit when I'm not like practicing up to scratch. But let's see what our skills are like today. Magicians know what's going on here, but this is for me a great exercise in warming up my hands. And so what better way to do it than by putting some pressure on you and doing this in a live stream, you know? Okay, I feel like the last one, let me get a peek at it. Okay, right underneath the 4 of hearts, and it's about 20 cards down. 20 cards down. There should be 19. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, which is that 4 of hearts. And this one is our ace. Okay, this is good. This means that we're warming up and it's not too late where sleight of hand isn't working, you know? Okay. Ethan says, GG. I think that either means going great or gotta go. Either way, Thank you for being here, my friend. For those just joining, what's up? We're doing a little magic, a little hanging out with you. This is something that I realized is pretty fun to do during the land of Zoom sessions during the pandemic, when we would all, us magicians started doing these Zoom shows. I realized this is kind of fun to interact live doing magic. And so anyway. Good game. Okay. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you for letting me know, letting this 36-year-old know what the hell GG means. I much appreciate it. All right. This, however, is, let me take you down. An Aussie coin, 50 cents or $half to our fellow Americans. It's an interesting coin. It's very hard to make. Well, you can always tell a 50-cent coin when you see one and you know it's real, as opposed to like a pretend coin that beginner magicians might use. I'll just say it like that, because these edges here make it almost just so impractical to duplicate and make, like, let's just call them fake coins, for example. But they're everywhere and they're a nice, decent size. So in Australia, these are the coins that we mainly practice with. And so let's see if we can, in fact, practice with these. I shouldn't watch myself in the monitor as much as I am right now. I'm looking right down at my laptop, but I shouldn't do that. Okay, let's try this. This is a good way to warm up with a coin. We've warmed up with the cards. We're warming up with the coin slowly. And yeah, I realize you can also do it this way. And so in America, coins fall this way, but in Australia, we're down under. So our coins fall this way, obviously. I can only make that joke when Americans are watching, or Canadians. Okay, brilliant. Now for the hard stuff. I'm sure you guys have had your share in these. Odd, what is up, my friend? Odd Thorn. Is this Odd Thorn as in Odd Modeling, or a different Odd? How many odds can there be in the world? I love it. But I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. It's a Sunday night, drinking my Christmas edition of our podcast mug. Enjoying a nice brew. Emergency Magician says magnets to fall up. I love that. I mean, I know because you're a magician, you know that I know that you know that I know. But magnets would be funny. You know, that is a thing that spectators will say, because that is, you know, the only thing they could comprehend, that you could do that. But yeah, isn't that funny? Magnets and some kind of string. And it's one of those moves that obviously you can do impromptu anytime, anywhere, any coin, but actually looks like a gimmick, which is funny. Okay, do I have any people that use these out there? Do I have any people out there that use these? Let me know. Benjamin, what's up? Best regards from Germany. Germany, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, that's not what I was trying to hit. I was trying to hit that. But anyway, we'll work with it. All right. Odd for Odyssey. Yes, sorry, Odd. What I meant was there's a friend named Odd that I've known for a long time through YouTube called Odd, and his last name is Modelin. A friend of our podcast that we do. And so I just, because some people jump on here and then they have a different name to like the username I'm used to seeing. And so that was how I was kind of checking. But Odyssey, I understand. There was a game. There used to be a game on PlayStation, I want to say, called Odyssey. And it was an alien. And it was like one of my favorite childhood games. And I've never seen it resurface again ever since I was a kid. I can only do the MP with a poker chip. Philip, that's the best way to learn, really. One of those plastic poker chips and then the clay ones. And like they're a good size. And this is almost the size of a poker chip, which I think is why it's fun to move on to after poker chips. Obviously, these are a little heavier as well. Alex, what's up, Alex? It's great to see. Sorry, just went overboard then. It's great to see everyone on here. Let's do some goddamn magic, hey? Let's do some magic with this. Well, not with this, but with this. Comedy. You gotta have fun sometimes. And if you know me, and I know I do, I love me some surprises with the audience. Whenever you can surprise them, it's like you get an extra thing out of your magic. And so I'll always start rubber bands in a show now, in like a close-up show, by not just bringing them out. But let's use some colors here. So we need 2 colors. We have yellow, blue, purple, red, pink. Just somebody type a color. I'll use the first 2 colors that come up while I drink my sweet, sweet Magic Guys mug. Apparently available at themagicguyshow.com. Anyway. Liam. What's up, Liam? How are you doing, my friend? Fellow Australian. Up late at night. He says blue. So the blue is in. Bang. What other color are we going to use, my friends? We need another color. It could be another blue, because there are 2, or it could be a good contrast. Like I would use yellow. But it's totally up to you. And we might just have to. I might just have to pick my own. But we'll give you a chance. Give you a chance. All right. Yeah, do yellow. It's bright. Okay, thank you. The same person helped me, so thank you. Okay, blue, yellow, excellent. This, my friends, is a little iteration of rubber band magic that these are all things I individually learned and then realized you can put them together. And there's some things that I've like sort of tweaked myself. And anyway, so I'm not gonna make you watch this one, right? Because we all know it. We all know it's great. But what you should consider, especially if you have an audience that's like maybe seen you do this before, is to do it the opposite way. So instead of pulling 2 rubber bands solid through solid out of each other, what if you were to go into each other? That's what she said. God damn it, it's late at night. I'm so sorry about that. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. It goes into the rubber band, and then to come out as if by freaking magic. Whoops, wrong button. All right, Jason. Jason Lambeth, nice hair.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, this is going to be fun. All right, so rubber bands, we did some classics of magic. This is like the linking rings, this next phase, from my friend Marco Setti. Now, I've been playing with, now I'm going to show you 2 ways. You tell me which way you think is more magical. It's the same effect, but this is something I literally just thought of like a day ago and haven't been at an event yet to try it out. But so the normal routine is like this, okay? 2 rubber bands, 2 different colors, which is excellent. I get the audience to point to a specific spot in the band. So let's say they point here. I go, great, I'll use that spot. 1, 2, 3. And it really looks like it links through one strand. And I'll try the bottom as well. And it should complete the penetration. Okay. All right. To unlink it, you have to go in reverse. You have to be careful. But if I do that, it should pop out like this. Okay. So that's the first one, right? They touch a spot and then you use that spot to link it. But tell me if this happens to be any better, okay? Because I kind of think it is. But here we go. So instead of that, what if you get the spectator to actually put their finger through the band that's holding up here, and you get them to press onto this band. And what I mean is it looks like this. 1, 2, 3. And it pops it. I went to say push and pop at the same time. It pops it through the band. And then you can do it again down here. 1, 2, 3. And it does it again. So my question to you is, does that have a more magical vibe to it? Because I'm thinking that they're going to feel that pop as they do it. And that might prompt them to then, after it's gone through, they're going to try and do that again more and more. Or does it just not look as visual because they're not seeing like this thing happen? That's what I'm wondering. Phil, Philip, there was a line I heard for CMH card. Oh my God. Oh, Crazy Man's Handcuffs. Right. I'm getting up to speed with my abbreviations. We had one earlier. It made me laugh. That's my second favorite form of penetration. Well, wow. Jason, it pop shit. Nice. You got to give me some more context there, man. I know it's late, so I'm going to take that into consideration as well. Liam, it's magic. Thank you, buddy. I like it. Second one's definitely better. Interesting. All right. That's one magician's opinion. Thank you. I tend to agree as well. I'll do it again so you get to see the context here. So give this a try as well. So I think you would get them to put their finger through this loop and then push down on 3. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, and it would pop through to one strand, and then they do it again. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, you could do it yourself like I'm doing right now. But okay, I love that. I love it. You can then go on to explain like the reason why this can happen is there is this is actually a magnetic rubber band, and you can find that spot here. I think it's focusing on it. You can see it like that. You can see the ends, and then I can take it and pop it back together. And my favorite moment is giving this out for them to keep from that moment on. Or even better, at a bank or a post office, they have their own rubber bands all the time. Actually, most storefronts will have rubber bands, and you do this with their rubber bands. It's so good. Okay. Jason, thank you for that context, my friend. Thank you. Okay. And then we're going to break a band. I'll just break this blue one because if we do something with rubber bands later, I just realized how great this yellow one is against everything on this table that is dark. Okay. All right. So broken rubber band. Now you could try and put this back together. In fact, if Harry Potter himself was trying to put this back together, I think what he would do is he would take the ends, wrap it around the middle, and dissolve it back into the center. Look at that. It won't focus on it. Amazing. There we go. Of course, we want to take this up a level. We want to do this in phases. We don't want to do it straight away. So what I would do is I would break this broken rubber band. So now we have 2 smaller broken rubber bands. If I put that first piece back on, we're back to just one long broken rubber band, which still isn't helping so much. But as you know, if you take a broken rubber band or hair tie, you put a knot into that sucker, you pull it tight, well, my God, you can now get twice as much use out of that rubber band. That just made me think of that meme. A Jetstar flight to, I don't know, I can't say it. All right. Anyway, however, to make this look a little bit more magical, you take the knot, you make it look like it comes off. Look, but just for a moment. It's look, no strings. But you do have to put that back on. It is too impossible to leave like this. So there we go. Once it goes back, it will stay like that forever. Okay. Pew! That's a good thing about rubber bands, is you can pew them. By the way, if anyone's trying to find a Rubik's Cube box to keep props inside and surprise audience members, I was in Vegas in a candy store, and that's where I found this. This is actually the official Rubik's brand, but it just had like these square candies inside, and I was like, that's a show prop if I've ever seen one. And so hope that answers that question. That first phase is a pure maze balls. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Some are tweaks on things that I've learned, and other things are like straight textbook. Mike, what's up, Mikey? Fellow engaged brethren. That's it. Jet 2 holiday. I'm glad you got that reference. And Alex says, yellow for, oh, geez. Yep. You definitely lost me, but that's an abbreviation I can't get. God, the stream is so smooth, man. What camera and what settings? Well, it's like I have been waiting for someone to ask that, because I love these details that people never ask for. So, looks sick. Thank you, brother. Well, you know what? Let me quickly give a little lowdown, because yeah, this is a iteration of trying out different things for live streams. Obviously, the main problem is on a live stream, like you used to have to use your phone. And so you were limited to the audio quality and like the camera strength and all that kind of stuff. But right now I'm pretty plugged into a lot of stuff here. So basically I have an actual DSLR camera, right? So I could reach up and zoom in and out of this. Now, something really important is, this is a little nuance here that maybe only like 3% of people watching this will understand. In Australia, we run on 25 frames per second frame rates, 25 frame rates and 50 per second frame rates. On an iPhone, it naturally will shoot at 30 frames per second, which is the American frame rate settings. And the reason why there's different settings of frame rates is because of the electrical currents in different countries affect the lights and how they will stutter and strobe in your shot. So the frame, if you imagine there's 25 frames in every single second of a camera, if the lights are flickering at 30 frames per second, it means that like one frame out of every second is going to have that little glitch of a darker shot. And so it really messes up your framings. Anyway, this software I'm using here, StreamYard,
StreamYard.com.
It puts out video at 30 frames a second. So I have to actually manually switch this camera to the American mode, which is easy to do, to be in 30 frames a second. And then I'm using two little softbox lights on either side of me that don't flicker, because it's mainly like, what am I trying to say? It's mainly strobe lights that, the big tube lights that go in ceilings. It's those ones that can make that problem. So these lights are made to be able to just be smooth. So anyway, what I'm saying is I'm using a DSLR camera, but switch to American settings so that it's smooth in StreamYard. Because if I had it on the normal settings, it would have a slight stutter in the video, because it would be 25 frames a second, but trying to push out 30 frames a second of video. That was so nerdy, and I don't know how I've just gotten more viewers by talking about this weird stuff. Okay. And then I just have a Shure SM7B mic, which are like, Joe Rogan podcast microphones, like the ones that every podcaster uses because they just give you sweet, sweet audio. And then, I have a Rodecaster Pro, which is just like letting me change the audio and visuals of this and also
Change my voice.
and use sound effects, which are just all built into the Rodecaster Pro. And then, it's hooked up to a laptop, which is in front of me. StreamYard is awesome because you can link it to your YouTube and Facebook. Like right now I'm streaming on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So it's multi-platforms and but it's not like if you're doing a live stream while you're training a client, Mike, this setup might be a little tricky, but you could have a DSLR on a tripod like I am and have it stationary, and then you're mic'd up to your Rode Go and you're chatting away. Anyway, you asked for this, mate. So that's how I'm able to do this but for me, it's great because I can set up everything in the studio, set up a mat here, which we will do some actual magic again. Everyone can just blame Mike for that little rant. Scotty P, what's up, my friend? This is great. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for stopping in. Did you have a gig this weekend? Let me know. All right. Oh, follow-up question. So it's a fluorescent light in your softbox and your frame rate for capture is at 25 or 30. Right. So what I was trying to say was fluorescent lights are the ones that give you problems if you're shooting at the wrong frame rate in a country. But what I'm using is I've got a ring light here, and then this one is a softbox. I can send you it's a Godox softbox, Goddox light with a softbox. They don't flicker at any frame rate, so they're perfect. But my camera is outputting at 30 frames a second at the 1/60, whatever the hell the shutter speed. And I do that because I know that this software outputs onto YouTube at 30 frames a second. You can't change it. So that's what I do. Also for Instagram, good to know as well. Instagram also outputs videos. No matter what you post, it will still post it at 30 frames a second. So whenever I can, particularly I only really can in a studio, I will shoot my videos at 30 frames a second, particularly because I know that's what it's going to make it become on Instagram. Anyway, geez. Jason, I like your idea here. Offer $1 per phase of a 1 coin routine, up to $10 to 10 phases. Yo, look, I'm king. That's cool. Let's do it. Sorry about that. Just coughing fit. Damn, your coin roll is so smooth. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I think I have put up a coin roll tutorial on YouTube. It's up there somewhere. Mike, does the chat consolidate to one box when you multi-stream? It does indeed, my friend. It does. And there's even a setting which I'm not seeing it in front of me right now. So I'm assuming it's only when you're live streaming in a wide format, but there's normally a button that you can click, which will actually show the comments on the screen as well. Like on our Magic Guys podcast, the last one we just did, you can see the live chat the whole time. But yeah, this is all in one place, which is perfect. So the view count, it just shows you in total. So right now it's showing me 32 people on YouTube, 6 people on Facebook. It's pretty cool. Yep, first wedding. Oh, wedding gig. All right, Scotty P doing the wedding gig. Where is it? Here it is. Let's go, baby. Brisbane magician Cooking up a storm with magic. I love it. I love it. My apologies, fam. Yeah. No, nerding out. Please nerd away. This is the stuff like I like figure out and then like no one cares about when I try to tell them, because why would we care? Liam, how many gigs this weekend? Well, this week coming up is really odd because I have, let me check. I think I have 3 or 4 events, but they're not on the weekend. So, right. So I have an event on Tuesday with another fellow magician, then a daytime event at a restaurant. I'm doing a full-on show, but in this like closed off fancy restaurant in Brisbane called Alchemy. And then on Friday, I do this big charity golf day event. So, so 3 events, but none on the weekend. How funny is that? And I will get to everyone. Hi, Josh. Why don't you perform seated at your shows, mate? I have, and there are, if you look at some of my long form videos, you will see some of my sets sitting. Like there's one in particular I've done the whole close-up show is me sitting down. But the main reason is because at the Theatre of Magic where I'm normally performing, there's like 50 people in the room. And when we have a full house, the back row or the last row that's not elevated, can't really see you that well on a table because like everyone's sitting at eye level and the people in front of them are sort of blocking. So I actually will stand up because I have to. That's really the reason why. And like I enjoy standing up and moving around. I think it creates more energy, but it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun to sit down and have this kind of space and have someone sitting here and use that economy of movement. I love it. I just, sometimes I just can't. And so you got to work with what the audience will allow you to do. Yo, let's have a call soon and nerd out together. Hell yeah. And I will say, I just signed up for a school academy with this guy named James. James and Jasmine is their social media. And I've been learning so much. Let me just say this, for anyone putting out social media content, I just learned from this YouTuber that's making $500,000 every month from YouTube videos. They put out 4 videos a day that are new. And in the morning, they will repost 10 of their old videos, the ones that did well or that are still, like they recycle every video 4 times. And so they figure out the strategy where they'll every day 4 new ones during the day, but in the morning they post 10 old videos, and at night they post 10 old videos, and then they just like make the next 4 videos that they're going to post, and it's crazy stuff. Eat healthy. What took you the longest to learn and master? Oh, that's a good question. I think definitely the routine I do at the moment where I say, tell me any card, tell me any way you want me to find it. That took the longest for me to get comfortable with doing because I never knew what people would say. But now I'm starting to learn like the different avenues people can go down and like how I can also navigate their suggestion to like fit what I can do. And then coin magic, to get like a good coin routine that is entertaining, but also like works in the real world where people are heckling and stuff. That took a while too. Shout out David Stone. Jason putting his money where his mouth is. I'm sorry I took so goddamn long to just put this comment up. I saw you sent this a little while ago, and now I think the exchange rate in America just changed, and now that is actually $3 American. But luckily I'm in Australia, so this is going to get me a new sweet deck of bikes. Okay, so this is prepaid because I know you have 10 phases in you, no issue. Thank you. And yeah, all right. And this is for coin magic. Well, he did ask, so we better deliver. You know what? I should have planned to actually have a few things to do with coins, but obviously I didn't know this was going to happen, so we shall press on with this. Okay. Boom, coins. So first of all, taking the coin for a walk, right? Classic. Where's the boom? Classic. Okay, so, you know, people think that we use our sleeves when we do magic. Have you ever heard that? They think that like we can take the coin, put it in our sleeve, and then shoot it out the end when we want it, right? Like we take it, we put it in our sleeve, and it shoots out. It's crazy that they think we do that, right? They think we take it and we oh no, that I didn't mean for this to happen, but sorry, I think this is I put it in the wrong way of the sleeve. That's what I did. But here's the thing. By the way, while I'm doing this, someone name a card that would be inside a deck. It's part of the phases. I'm going to take out the jokers because the jokers aren't a part of this. But someone name a card because now that I've got to make up 10 phases, and I've done 3 so far, we're just going to make this a part of the phase. Anyway, okay. So the other thing is that this is very similar to a poker chip. So you can make it look like you actually don't bet when you say you are, right? So you can pretend you're betting and you haven't, or you can pretend that you've just won and you take up the chip, but then they still see it on the table. That freaks them out as well. But the truth is I'm cheating, right? And I can transport the coins from one hand to the other without the sleeves. It doesn't have to be the sleeves. Because you can do it 2 ways. One is you can do it the fast way, where it looks like a glitch in the matrix, or you can do it the slow way, where you swear you see it go from one hand to the other. That's the weird part. Of course, you can also take the coin and make it look like it was never there, right? And I think you already know where this is going. It has to come back somewhere, so it will. You can also do this long distance where if you watch, you'll see it go through the air and into the other hand while distracting you with my sweet, sweet thighs here. Aren't you glad I'm wearing pants? And then, but you can also defy gravity by going up like that. And that's in fast motion. That's in glitch mode. But if I do that slowly, well, that, like we saw earlier, looks like this. And that, my friends, I think is 10 different moves, 10 different phases of a routine. Thank you.
Thank you, James! Jason.
I meant to say Jason. For some reason, James came out. James. I was trying to think of a cool reason for saying James. Anyway. I'm looking at so many names here. What an idiot. But thank you. Thank you, Lucy. All right. Tim, that's a lot of content talking about those guys. Yeah, it is. It is, right? Different. They're not performing magic. They are a couple that put out entertaining dancing clips from like their home living room. But still difficult. I totally forgot about I totally forgot about the card. Talking about mentalism, think of a card. Think of any card tricks. Could you do it and how long does it take to practice? Yeah, good question. Well, let's do, and by the way, old fan, love you, dude, an old fan. Yo, thank you. Well, I'm an old magician, so this works out perfectly.
Oh my God.
I'm just pushing all sorts of things here. So the first card that was named, by Harish as well, was the 8 of diamonds. And so I wonder if I could actually bloody do this. By the way, this is a very new deck. No crimps, no like. I just didn't have time to gimmick this in any way. But okay. So here's the idea. This is the idea. I've never done this live before, by the way. So it's gone into the deck apparently. But if we look, oh, better do that again. Screw it. I'll just try and throw it in the deck. Was it 8 of diamonds? What an uneventful throw. But look where it landed. The 8 of diamonds, baby! Come on. Where are we? There we go. I was wondering where the focus would be. But fun times. Now, we had a few other cards named as well. Maybe we'll just try and... Instead of doing it with the coin, because that was ridiculous, let me try it with a joker. So the next one named was a 4 of diamonds. I was just practicing this off the live stream. So it's so funny that now you guys are here and we're trying this again. But, okay. Here we go. 4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds. Hang on. Oh, yeah. That feels really low in the deck. That feels really low. Oh, yeah. But we still...
Got the 4 diamonds, baby!
Okay, that one, I really didn't think that was going to happen. But it did. So I'll take it. And we'll roll with that. All right. Let's see that muscle pass. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think I just did it like 20 times. Slow motion, fast motion. There we go. Boom. It's one of those things for magicians out there wanting to learn that. It's like I just went through so many love-hate relationships with it where I would try to learn it, I would give up. I would try to learn it, I would give up. Then I all of a sudden could do it a little bit, then I would give up. And then, 5 years later, I was like actually doing it. It's crazy. 11 moves, you accounted for the GST, I'm guessing. Yeah. Hell yeah. Shiv, 5 sleights. Your top 5 sleights and then the toughest to master sleights according to you. Oh, buddy. Well, I'm assuming you're talking about cards maybe. So let me use some cards that will give a bit more fun contrast. I'm going to use these bad boys. I'm going to use these. These are still bicycle cards, but they have some gold foil on them, which is awesome. This is a malfunction card. So I'll get rid of that one. But yeah, this is the prismatic deck for those playing at home. By the way, are you seeing this in the correct way or is it mirrored for you? Because I see it mirrored, but I think that's because it does that so you see it the right way. But let me know. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just quickly, Jason. Yeah, that's so right. Yeah. I remember being backstage with you at Dynamo and him inspiring you to learn that move with a flat hand. Bro, I will never understand how that man can do that with a flat hand. That is insane. But back to Shiv here. Okay. Let's say with cards, top 5 sleights. Okay. Yeah, look, top 5 sleights. Okay. I mean, if we're talking about ones that I use, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so, I mean, this one is difficult, right? So you remember this card. Oh, is it going to focus? There we go. Jack of Spades. You remember that. We'll lose it in the deck. And then with a little subtle movement, it jumps to the top, right? So that's one. It's difficult. I don't use it all the time, but there is definitely a place for it. One that I do use all the time is this one, right? So that would be the second one that I actively use. The third one would be probably this one where, let's see if I can do this. All right, that would be the third one. The fourth one, this is just a fun one. This is just a fun one that I guess I would mainly just use on video, but if you watch, okay, that would be number 4. And then I guess for number 5, you'd have to just use like a classic, you know, like a classic Jeremy Tan one. Bang. So what's super funny is magicians will mostly see like what I'm going for with these moves. But I hope there's like some non-magicians out there that just saw pure magic 5 times and it looked like I did the same thing 5 times, even though I did the same thing, but in 5 different ways. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, but reach out to me if you're a magician and you are curious on any of those things I just did, because, you know, I have to be a little careful what I say right now, because obviously there are some muggles in here listening to this. But, you know, if you ever are trying to learn a little more about what I do, I have a YouTube membership section these days, and there's about 18 videos in there of me breaking down some of my improv routines. And so that's there. Anyway, I won't say I've said too much about that already. Shiv, hey, what did you do there? Excellent. Well, that must mean that I've been putting in a lot of work and it's paying off. So that's good to see. I'll give those a pass mark. Yay, nice one. I see what you did there. Harish, any books you recommend for beginners? Could be cards or could be mentalism. For beginners, oh man. When I was starting out, what I found the most helpful is David Stone's Real Secrets of Magic DVD sets. They, for me, just had all of the great staple effects that a person wanting to do magic could go and learn from. I just realized, I think someone asked a question near the start of this, which was like, what do you do full time? I think that was the way they asked it. Let me just quickly check while we're all just hanging out here. I just realized I might have missed. Oh yeah. Umit said, is magic your full-time job? It is. I wouldn't spend this unreasonable amount of time on a live stream if I had a day job to go to tomorrow. So yeah, it's a full-time job the last 10 years. But I still make magic purposefully a hobby as well. So these videos I make, while I do, some of them do get monetized, it's not paying any major bills. So although now that I made $10 from Jason Lameth, might be able to pay my, I might be able to pay my monthly plan fee on my bank account. That's $10. But yeah, so yeah, I do magic full time, but then I do fun stuff like this live streaming. I do a podcast every week, which really costs money to do. But it's all like facets of magic and it's all fun, really. And I love learning, buying. I'm the first one there to check out the new effect that's come out. I just went to Magic Live in Vegas and spent too much money there. So, you know, I'm all for that. All right, someone's going crazy in the chat here. That's great. I'm just going to have to pause that because not that I don't value your comments, but that is just too many comments, my friends. All right, let's go back to some fun questions. Are you related to Johnny Sins? Excellent. I believe we use different magic wands. You got OnlyFans? Excellent question. No. Although if I did, it would just consist of only fans. Only fans. You know what I'm saying?
Like, because it's a deck of cards in a fan.
Yeah. I've heard a magician joke about like making an OnlyFans, and it's just every day, it's just fanning a different deck of cards. I think that's actually pretty fun. But anyway. Harish, I've always seen that you have a great sense of humor in your tricks. Thank you, my friend. Great persona that you have worked on. People always end up having a good time. Thanks, man. Like, you know, that's always my goal, if nothing else, is to have fun. And so I'm really glad that comes through. Like, if you can have fun outside of the magic happening, that's like, I think that's when you're onto something, because then the people are really there to see you. Like, they'll come and see your show again just because like they had so much fun, even if they know the same effects and routines you're going to do, but they just like know it's going to be really fun, or they want to watch their friend have fun seeing it for the first time. Like, it's a funny situation when you do enough shows and you see people come back again. More like Only Hands. That's a good one too. Only Hands is a good one as well. Yeah. I think it would be fun to have a good use of all of these cards that we buy and own too many of, you know. That's what I think. Speaking of which, I believe we all own probably one of these now. A set of rings of different colors for no reason. Now I'm forgetting his name. Tobias Dostal is responsible for us magicians having all of these finger rings now. If you're a magician, then you would understand. Tim, I thought OnlyFans would be naked card tricks. You know, there probably is a market for that. Like, to be honest, naked card tricks is a market that I'm probably just not going to go down. But if my career ever was in strife, like, it's good to know that is an option. You've got a good sense of humor, respect. Thank you, my friend. Shiv, I don't know what that's saying, but I appreciate it. Sounds like the lyrics to a song. That's awesome. Love your card work. Would love to jam someday. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're kind of half jamming, right? In fact, let me jam with you right now, my friend. Name. Do I still have the jokers? Yeah. Name any playing card in the deck, my friends. And we'll see if we can do anything with that. I'll give you a second. We're going to wait for him to name a card. We'll come back to that. Umit, could you check my previous question? I mean, it's funny. You could have just used that moment to write the question again, but I like the right. You're asking about the quality of my camera. We were talking about this earlier, but so I'll be quick. The quality of my videos. So the camera that I use in my videos is the same one that I'm using right now to stream. And it is called a Sony ZV-E1. I think it's about $3,000 Australian. And then you buy a lens to like put on it as well. But it's essentially like a 4K full frame camera is what that is. And yeah, you could look it up. ZV-E1. It's like it's a range of cameras that Sony made, like particularly for content creators, like vloggers and stuff. So they're made to be like a bit smaller than the normal Sony range, but still pack a punch with quality, and it's really great. I could talk all day about cameras, honestly, but I will try not to. Yeah, and Jason mentioned Oz Perlman's Born to Perform. Great places to. Oh yeah, the books. Oh my God. You know what? I love the fact there's so many people here and I'm like jumping between questions. But my answer to my friend who asked about videos earlier is that learning from books is just not the platform that I really started with. Books are what I came to later on when I sort of had more of an understanding of magic and foundations. So now I have some books. Like, I'm a big fan of Ozzy Wind. So I have like 3 or 4 of his books that he's put out. Although I will still always buy the downloads of the effects he puts out, even though they're in the book. I like learn so much better seeing him in person, talk about the nuances. Yeah, and anyone who follows my work, obviously Mnemonica was a great book to get my hands on. I did buy the Tarbell course of magic and just never committed. Like I definitely went through the books, but I never really committed to studying all the lessons, which for anyone who doesn't know, the Tarbell course in magic is like the most comprehensive set of books that just basically explain like every effect and premise you could think of in magic, like from silks to cards to illusions to mentalism to doves to everything. If you were to read through every single page of that book and like practice and learn everything in there, you would have a really good career. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, Jason Ladanye. I mean, he does have good effects as well, for sure. Sorry. Let me try and scroll back a little bit to catch up. Yeah, ask the naked magicians to, do the, that would be funny to do the OnlyFans. Okay, here we go. 9 of Hearts. Okay, so 9 of Hearts. I'm gonna try and do this with the. I'm losing my cards here. I'm gonna try and do this with the Jokers. We'll see how close I get with this, but the idea is I'll try and get to the 9 of Hearts, but I'm going to do this with the Jokers, like one card at a time. So if we put one Joker here and we put one Joker here, then technically the Jokers have sandwiched your 9 of Hearts. I think that's not really the joke. I think the joke is normally that you would start with them in the middle and then they would appear at the tops. Anyway, I don't want to patronize you fellow magicians and do that. But if we do it this way, watch. 1, 2, 3. Now there is no Joker on the top or the bottom because if we spread out these cards, you'll notice in the center of the pack, face up for theatrical emphasis, are those 2 Jokers again. And I realize I took a little bit too long to set up this trick, but if we look in the center, you will notice one card is in the center, the 9 of Hearts. Let's go, baby. Bit of fun. A bit of fun. Honestly, this type of magic I could just do all day because I do enjoy it. I love it. Thank you for all your questions, by the way. You guys are just awesome. Magic KP, do you remember me? Well, look, I can't say like I remember that top hat graphic super well. So you're going to have to give me a little bit more context and then I'll remember you, okay? Okay. Jason Lambeth, he will pull his ponytail out hearing you say that. You're going to have to give me more context. On the Tarbell, is that because he made the video form of Tarbell? Okay. Let me try and catch up on your questions real quick. Opinions on Magic the Gathering. I've just never played. Honestly, I just spend way too much time geeking out as a magician to play Magic at the Gathering. But like, I hear great things about it. I honestly thought this was about Magic the Gathering. Oh, right. Because I said hang out with a magician. That's funny. That is funny. Well, I mean, this is Magic and we are gathering. So, you know, kind of still interesting. But that tells me that maybe you're not a magician then. In which case, check this out. I wonder if I can catch this on my finger. Well, maybe if you threw it straight, Josh, you'd have a chance. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. I put a ring on it. Can you believe that? Nicki Minaj, no idea what that reference is, but that's okay. And Alex, and then I will go into a trick, I swear to God. Okay. Hi, Josh. I have a bit of a technical question. May I know where you learn your cuts to bring a named cut to the top? Oh, wow. You're just really going at it. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. I mean, no, it's not it's self-taught, I guess. It's not a main thing, I think, that I can reference you to a certain place. But let's jam on that on Instagram. Or, like I was saying before, no one has to do this, but I have a YouTube section for members where I do go through quite a lot of my routines that I have to improv on the spot at shows. And it does like help you with a lot of these things that you might be wondering. So, but thank you for the questions. Oh my God, a real magician. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. What did you think? What did you think was going to... Well, that was a terrible example of a real magician. There we go. Okay. Let me set that right there. What's your opinion on cardistry? I love it. I do love cardistry, but I would say I wouldn't... Like, I love cardistry, and I love moves like the muse cut here and... things like ATM, you know, they're great. I would never call myself a cardist because I don't want to like lesser what cardistry is, because like I do some, but I don't really like, I'm not as fluent as what like a cardist would be, but I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, here we go. Ring trick. You should all know this one, but I'm going to do it anyway because we're on a live stream, and that slight delay in video makes this just look so good. So I'll do it again, even though nobody asked, but this time if you watch, it'll look like it jumps from one hand to the other. Of course, you can do this another way, one in which is you put it on your finger and it looks like it comes out, and then you can throw it back as if by freaking magic. But if you have to, you take a magical cord. Well, no, this is a real cord. These are magical hands. And you take this velvet cord and you put this through the ring. And then you have a predicament, because now you can see the ring, you can still try it on, but you can't get it off the string unless you know the combination, which fortunately I do, which is 11, 33, and 12. And you can get the ring to come off. Oh my God. Now, to do that again is a little trickier because now you're actually paying attention. So I have to do this. Oh, is that I show speed in the chat? Oh my God. What is he doing? That was all misdirection. That was all misdirection. But now you can see the cord is on the ring. Yes, you can all see that it's on there. No one buys that. But it is in fact on there because... a magician will only pretend like something's not actually on there when it is, and they can get away with it. Of course, if we go back to our coin lessons from earlier, particularly the French do this move very well. You can make it look like the ring comes off for a second, but only a second. Oh my God, but only a second. It has to go right back on again because it's 11:15 p.m. at night and my hands aren't working the way they should. But if I do that again and I wrap this around itself, it'll happen on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Boom. And that, my friends, is a little ring magic. And this is almost a coin move. It's like an anti-gravity coin roll, but done with the ring. So you too can learn this and freak out when you drop your ring on the ground and it bounces off to oblivion, because that's what happens when you start to learn that move. Trust me. All right, friends, look, we are getting to that point now where I'm questioning my life choices, and I've been on here for 1 hour and 4 minutes. But honestly, I have to say thank you. Out of every audience I've ever had, you by far are the most recent. But second to that, it's been really fun. And this time has gone so fast, which is like the sign of a good set of friends in the chat. I'm going to do one more trick for you guys. And again, I could do this all day, but I'm going to end like I do with most of my streams. And that is, I'm going to write everyone's name down who is in the chat right now. So if you're in the chat and you want to be included, please just type your name or the name you want to go with. But a few friends I can see already is like Tim, for example. So I'm going to put Tim. I'll just put like abbreviations because I feel like we have a few friends in the chat right now. I'm going to do a trick with this card. All right, we're going to add Chris. Good night, Tim. Good night, mate. Have a good sleep. Alex. All right, we're going to put Alex O. Who else we got? Who else we got? We got Shiv. Shiv K. Yes. CJ. All right, I like it. What up? I'm going to give you a little, like a little wink smiley face because you're a cool CJ. Harish, take care of yourself. Love you, dude. Hey, love you right back, bro. Thank you very much for being here and hanging out. This honestly is a great reminder of like why I should do more of these. So thank you for being here. Oh, Shiv says AR. Okay, I'm going to change that to AR. Heck yeah. And a smiley face. Greedy. So greedy. All right, I feel like, I feel like we've got most of my friends here that are in the chat. This is good. I'm going to date this as well. So in Australia, it is the 26th of the 10th, 2025. Okay. Boom. There we go. All right, look at that. Boom. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with this. How do I have to? Okay, so if I hold it to like here, it'll focus. Okay, great. So this is a deck that all looks the same. It is essentially a deck that people can use as flashcards if they're a student or a teacher or a magician or a psychopath would use a deck that has nothing on it. But it's great because you can write notes down or you can do card tricks where they're all the same except for this card. Oh, Liam's back. All right, Liam, we're going to write your name on the card as well. Man, that was a short sleep you had. You're a 1 hour sleep man. Okay, there we go. So now you can see the bunch of names, which is excellent. So now the idea is if I put this in the deck, it really looks like it is going inside. But if we give it a second, we can cause the ink to rise to the top as if by magic. Now, you know I didn't just write everyone's names twice. Like this is not a double writing situation, okay? In fact, I'll do it again even though nobody asked. Okay, so again, it goes in the center. Give it a second. It really looks like it jumps up. I'll do it again until you super chat me. No, just kidding. Please do. No, it'll jump to the top. Now, when I first started learning this, I thought, why? No. When I was younger doing this, I remember watching a lecture by Gregory Wilson, and I would show my friends, and they would say, your hands are so fast. You have like ninja hands, and that must be how you must be able to do some kind of move like that would shoot the card to the top. At least that's what they thought. But if you think about it, if you were really doing magic here, you know, it wouldn't be the card that you're manipulating through the deck. But in this situation, imagine it's the ink that can move through the cards. Like if you're really doing magic, I think that is what you would do. And so in that case, you would just take any card and you would have the ink jump from the middle to the top like that. Now, if you were here, I would get you to really check this card out vigorously. Make sure it actually is a written card and not a stamp or like some layer of plastic that can come off it or something like that. Not that anyone's guessed that it's plastic. I'm just saying, you know, for magicians. But if you get the right angle, you can make the ink come off for a second. That sound is important, right? I'll sit it right there. Black on black. That's why you can't see it. Also because it's not really there. This is a trick. But to make it come back, if you go back over that spot with a card, then you can make it come back again. This is crazy. Now, last but certainly not least, I should do this. I'm going to write my name on a card as well so that I can show you a little bit more, for the magicians watching, a little bit more obvious how this can happen. Also, I just want to point out, this is a normal size Sharpie. I just have massive hands. And also I'm left-handed like Jerry Seinfeld and Justin Bieber. Any other left-handers in the audience tonight? And I'm going to write stay magical. By the way, if anyone wants this card at the end of this, I reckon let's call it 20 bucks. 20 bucks Australian, and I will mail this to you wherever you are in the world. Okay. So on this side has my name, Josh Nombito. What I would do in a normal performance is show this side, which has nothing, which is like all the cards that we've been using. But if I just go ahead and use all of our names, so I've got all my friends here, Tim A, Chris, Alex, Shiv, also known as AR, CJ, Harish, and Liam. And this side has my name or my Instagram, which is at Josh Nombito. I'll do it with this facing up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And now we can use this card again, my friends, because we now share the same card. We now share this one card, united, friends forever. That's what this means. And that, my friends, is magic. I love that. My brain. I'm glad I could affect you in such a fun way through the screen. I think that is the beauty of doing magic. But look, let's wrap this up in about a minute or so. But oh, thank you. I just thought I'd respond to some of your questions, your comments here before I go. Amazing. Thank you, my friend. Hey, you're amazing too. Thank you for watching though. Friends forever. Hey, AR. The hardest part is like, because no one here has like a picture of their face on it, I have to purely rely on like remembering the name specifically. So like, I apologize if you, normally I'm pretty good at it, but like if you jump on a future stream or comment on a video, just know that like I'm just seeing lots of random names. So like sometimes it's hard to remember. And then of course people on Instagram will have a different name to the one on YouTube. It's like, we're crazy, y'all. And Shiv, oh yeah, for the finale, could you do the head pop? Oh my God. Like if I had a green screen, I could technically do that. Or like, that's such a good idea. You know what? You've really given me a good idea. I think the next time I do a live stream, I'm going to pop my head, because you can play videos in this stream. For example, do I have one as an example I can show you? I think this will play in like wide format, but you'll get the idea. Yeah, so that's a segment we do on our podcast, but I'm just realizing if I uploaded a vertical video that looks exactly like this, but it's just pre-edited, and then I play that, that could be actually a fun way to end a live stream, because the head would actually pop. I knew there was a reason I liked you. Yeah. It's magic. Yeah, I like it. Well, you guys have been great. What more can I say? This was fun. This was magic. Stay magical, friends. If magic is something you enjoy, just keep enjoying it. Just whatever you do, in whatever capacity you do it in, just make sure you bloody enjoy it. Because I will say, the moment you decide to rely on it for a living, it comes with work and, you know, the need to perform, like it requires you to perform. It can zap the fun out of it if you're not making time to have fun with it. So particularly that's why I love to come on here and have fun. And so I hope you can do something like that as well. All right, my friends, I shall see you next time. Stay well, everyone. Be magical.